So, breathe. Right. Be alive. Be alive. Because, again, the only reason this is great is because it's out of a movie, right? But it's a movie about us. And that's how because I've learned this stuff for years, that's what I began to see. And that's why it's so great. So again, in the meantime, the Matrix, what do I mean by the Matrix? Who hasn't seen the Matrix? The Matrix is an illusory reality that was created in order to keep some human beings from dying. It's very hard to explain, but it's an illusory reality that if you go into a computer, it's brilliant, right? If you go into a computer, you and I live outside the computer, right? But there are people who live only in the computer, basically. And it's a static reality. And you and I can go into that reality and try and find the soul of the person who can be the one who can fully overcome the force of the Matrix. And to meet the creator of the Matrix, which is the architect, which in Jewish tradition is the Samech Mem, the angel that had 12 wings in heaven, whom God threw down from heaven. And he created, God uses the Samech Mem, an angel with 12 wings who rebelled, quote unquote, against God, to create this reality. So really in Kabbalah, that this reality is an important, necessary illusion created by a very high angel. But God is higher than everything. But he sends our souls into this place because we have the potential for overcoming the Matrix. And in doing so, we come to a higher level of closeness with God than we could have done if he hadn't done this whole thing. So that's just a different way of saying what I said before at the beginning. But it's that kind of surprise ending where at the very end it comes out that every part of the drama had to happen. Let's just go back into the text on 94. The evil man of this verse is none other than the shell, the system of evil, also known as Adam B'Ya'al, the man without the yoke. This system of evil dominates and subjugates Adam B'Kedusha, the man of holiness, i.e., the holy soul that fell from Adam, due to the sin of Adam and Cain and Havel, his son, who caused good, that's to say holy soul, to fall and to thereby become intermingled with evil, i.e., to become the energy that sustains the system of evil. So again, the basic Kabbalistic depiction of the sin of Adam is that Nachash was a carrier for the Samech Mem. In the Midrash in Pirkei Eliezer, which I bring in my other book, the Samech Mem looks for a fit vehicle upon which to ride. In other words, to use some existing creature in order to come to speak to Eve. Adam is up in heaven, he's away at the setup, Eve is there alone, and the Nachash comes as a vehicle upon which the Samech Mem rides. It's, again, crazy stuff. But the Samech Mem speaks through the Nachash. Samech Mem being the name of an angel, this 12-winged angel was supposedly called the rebellious angel, who created the lower reality that we live in. And he steals souls. Okay? It's not written in the Torah, but again, the Kabbalistic drama is that he manages to steal souls. So that what happens, according to the Ari, is that certain souls go up from Adam, basically from here up. They go up, and they're not a part of the sin. Certain souls go down, and they fall into the lower reality. They become the billions of souls that now become the fodder for the power of evil that had no existence of its own until it received the energy from Adam. And certain souls stayed with Adam himself. So now, these ones that fell have become the energy behind this system. That's what it wanted. So that's important. Listen now to go back into the text. 94, second bolded paragraph. The damage done was so great that to the degree that any particular soul is greater, i.e. capable of doing greater good, due to its exaltedness and intrinsic goodness, or you could also say due to its position in the tree of life, how far up it goes, right? So to the degree that a soul is greater, the evil with which it is saddled when it incarnates is even greater. And he's going to explain what he means in a moment, that every soul that the system of evil, quote unquote, brings out of its pool of souls into a human being, they choose it in order to get more souls to come down to them, because they need energy. So the higher the soul, the more of a powerful negative force that they attach to it to make sure that it comes back. For to the degree that a soul is great, i.e. depending on where its root is in Adam, to that very extent it becomes inextricably entangled with its counterpart in impurity, in the shell. Whatever, it's just basically a restatement, is that everything is saddled with a negative force in order to ensure that that soul will come back and bring others with it. This is the deeper meaning behind the statement of the sages, Kol ha'gadol michavero, yitro gadol mimenu. The greater a person, the greater his inclination to do evil, which can also be understood as the greater a person, the higher and more exalted his soul, the more powerful his yetzer, his inclination to do evil, to the extent that if the yetzer, the inborn propensity and inclination to do evil, is even gadol mimenu, is more powerful than he is, it has to seem that it's totally unfair. When I'm born, I'm given a very, very strong lust, right? And so this lust, I don't have the intellectual capacity or the emotional maturity to harness and to refine my lusts, right? So most of my early years are spent following after my lusts, right? And that's human beings, that's most of us. And but when we become conscious and aware, then it's time for us to start to refine, to uplift, to elevate. Because we don't denigrate and we don't deny the lust. We lift them up and we sanctify them. Because the holy of holies of the Jewish home is the bedroom. It just has to be done the right way. But that very power, when it's misused, right, is giving energy to that other system. So we live in a generation where the 6 billion of us, right, there's a very powerful sexual force on the planet. And in a sense, it could be seen that the system of evil is winning. But really, it's to its own detriment, right? Because what's going on here behind the scenes is there's going to be a powerful soul awakening. And it's already manifesting from the 60s onward. Even there's different levels of manifestation, but there's a powerful soul awakening going on as Shabbat gets closer, and as the light of Shabbat comes closer, and our souls want more, but we want more physicality and spirituality at the same time. And so we can start to clarify exactly what kind of physicality we want, until our spirituality becomes a useful factor in our deciding how we want to live physical life. But without the spirituality, then physicality basically is a force that can take us over. So, gadol mimenu, that this force is even stronger than us. And he gives two amazing examples, King David and Abraham. Indeed, a prime example of this was King David, of blessed memory. He was a very great soul, who as a result of Adam's blemish, became trapped and intermingled with a powerful evil in the depths of the shell. This explains why he was born ruddy, red, which indicates a tendency towards din, bloodshed, and hot-bloodedness, and that he did what he did with Bathsheba and Abigail, such that because he was saddled with such a ra gadol me'od, a great evil, i.e. such a powerful negative charge, these actions were not held against him in heaven. For this was the first time that his soul had been brought forth from the depths of the shell, such that he was born with a mighty and powerful negative charge. It is therefore not surprising that he did such things, but the Holy One placed him in such a difficult situation precisely in order to increase his reward when he would finally overcome and transmute this negative charge. Again, a secret message to us. We're not into guilt. We're not into guilt tripping, that I'm bad because I've done what I've done. On the contrary, as you see here,